A massive thank you to Joel, who became a Patreon member yesterday. Thank you very much for your support. Today is day 5 of the 2022 Farnborough Airshow, which means my final day of the breaking coverage and just generally the final day of the show. However, it is also a day in which nothing really goes on. The concluding ceremonies have already occurred, allowing me the perfect opportunity to recap what a week it was from the aircraft manufacturers, with coverage beginning today, in this video, with Airbus. My thinking is we'll just go in alphabetical order, if you will. Airbus had a relatively quiet airshow, it must be said. However, it wasn't necessarily something they were bothered by, with the airshow being firmly an opportunity for them to sort supply chain difficulties out, and a whole lot more regarding staff shortages and so forth. The European aircraft manufacturer said regarding orders, it was very comfortable with the progress it made this year, and didn't need mammoth announcements at the Farnborough Airshow to say, as an example, justify their worth. On one of the first days, it was announced that Delta had firmed up orders for 12 of the A220-300 aircraft, a commitment built upon the airline's already existing one for the A220 series of 107 aircraft. This includes 45 of the A220-100s, the shorter variant, and then 62 of the A220-300s. Taking delivery of their first 220 back in October of 2018, this aircraft has become a fundamental part of the operations and future, and especially so as Airbus continues to push the aircraft in North America. In addition, we saw TAG Angola Airlines announce that they would sign a leasing agreement with the Air Lease Corporation for the A220 as well. While not a direct commitment, if you will, with the European aircraft manufacturer, it does still involve the A220 and Airbus somewhat, and considering it has been a very relatively quiet airshow, I figured it would still be worth mentioning in this recap when it comes to aircraft movements. Moving across to LATAM, the airline announced a plan to reinforce its fleet of aircraft, thanks to the A321neo, and the inclusion, also, of eventually the A321XLR, Airbus's newest narrow-body aircraft, set for an entry into service now sometime in 2024. The commitment includes 17 of the 321neos. The A321XLR is included in the plan, but we don't know the exact makeup of units just yet. Of course, the 321neo is a very prominent member of the family. It incorporates a host of new generation specs that makes it a very desirable option for customers moving forward, and we've already seen that with the hundreds and hundreds of commitments. But, generally speaking, with 8,100 total orders for the 320neo family, it's become an essential asset for many airlines worldwide. Finally, after shareholder approval, we also saw easyjet announce, or re-announce if you will, the plan to firm order 56 of the A320neo aircraft. The order is indeed part of a renewal scheme for the airline as they continue to enhance their operations and network by putting the most fuel-efficient aircraft types out there. It has undoubtedly been their aircraft of choice, with over 300 of them in their operations. To the Flash Cuban, Neil, Don Stefan, Jam, Eric, Daniel, and Al Walid, thank you very much for being cabin crew members. Do remember to stay tuned throughout today though. Just because it is the final day of the airshow doesn't mean there aren't more videos to come discussing and recapping what happened during this amazing week, where we saw executives, aircraft manufacturers, airports and so forth all congregate to the aviation space just outside of London and discuss, of course, all things aviation, from orders to future aircraft, sustainability, and much more. And what a week it truly was. Of course, in regards to orders, it probably didn't live up to the expectations many had, but no doubt a lot of progress was also made in the form of sustainability and, of course, working through many of the various supply chain difficulties that have been incurred in the past couple of years. Thank you for watching my recap on developments over at Airbus. Do stay tuned in the coming hours as we move to American aircraft manufacturer Boeing, who you could argue had a very, very strong and more successful airshow in the terms of orders.